What do you like about your group, Coach, just as you've started camp and put the pads on for a few days?
Yeah, competitive group. Competitive group. They're competitive against themselves. Obviously right now we're through about 6 days of install. One thing I've been really pleased with is we're not always focused on rather the outcome of the play, but our process of playing technique, executing the defense, and really all 11 guys kind of live in that. What can they improve? What can they improve? What can they improve? If we get a pick on a play and we have a busted coverage or a misassignment, that's not really our process. So we're really focused on what happens between that whistle from the processing of our guys.
Have you had many chances live work to force turnovers? How's that picture look?
Well, we're tracking everything every day, so we haven't had any live reps yet. Today was probably our most physical day. We just got the pads on, but turnover focus and the way we generate them, they're worked every day through our fundamental approach.
What would you say about the amount of install that your system requires?
I know my system. I know the defenses I've been a part of. We talk about being simple, fast, and violent. But I think if you would talk to our guys, we certainly try to carry enough to attack the opponent we're seeing. And we want to teach simply, but our guys still have to manage a decent level of install. Now, we're through day 6 right now. We're about 80% through the package, about another 20% to go with goal line and some end-of-game situations. But spring was such a jump forward for us. Like they got an understanding of, the conceptual 100, 200 level approach. Now we're diving into the deeper details.
You've been a defensive coordinator at a lot of different stops. How have you evolved over time in terms of how much you walk around and kind of look at all the units and how much you work with those linebackers?
Yeah, great question. I love the linebackers, man. That's home for me. But Coach Dvorak has done a magnificent job. And so he's taken over running the linebacker meetings, and it allows me to kind of be with the group at the top end and then go visit different position groups during the day. But during practice, I'm with them a lot, but not every period.
You like working with them during practice. In theory, you could walk around and work with anybody, but you like working with them.
Yeah, I like the work. I like seeing kids improve. I think sometimes when you're a floating DC, you're out of the fire and you can cast blame on others. I'm in the fire with them, and it's important to me they play a certain way. And Dvorak has done a great job of that through his time here and so far. But I want to make sure that the guys running the show are running the show the way they need to.
He's one of the guys one of the few you didn't have experience with.
Rob.
On this defensive staff. Yeah, Rob, what was it about the way that made the two of you click as you described?
Yeah. Well, Rob's a terrific human. You guys have all talked to him before, man. He's really likable. He's approachable. He's humble. He's a prepared worker. Anytime I've ever asked him to do anything, it's been above the line for my expectations. And so having the chance to work with him through the spring, he's one of the better coaches I've been around. And so having the opportunity to keep him and his family here in Lincoln, we say that that was a blessed situation for him, but really it was a blessing situation for us.
Last week, a couple of your players called you a mad scientist. Have you ever had that name before at other schools, and what do you think of it?
Not one time. I can barely read. No, not really. I read fine. Here's what I'll say about the guys, man. That makes me excited that they're excited about the team and they're excited about the coaching point. So if they want to call me a mad scientist, they can call me whatever they want. I love them.
Hey, Coach, how's that interior defensive line group coming together, especially guys like Tyson Terry and Sua, just as you try to develop maybe that next wave of guys with some of the more established people you have on the roster?
Tremendous progress out of that group. Exceptionally pleased with where we're at. We have a great competition in that room right now. They're pushing each other every day. Every single day, it's like you see something out of someone where it's a spark. We can use them this way. Or you see someone's hands come alive the way we've been talking about. So Corey Brown, Dave Tollefson have done a magnificent job. Really pleased.
What do you think of the characterization when you hear that's a question mark, the interior line?
I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I'm focused on it. I don't, as much as I love and respect you guys, I'm with these guys every day. And so I spend most of my time taking my influence from what I'm seeing on the tape.
It's been a pretty common observation from players and anyone who's seen you guys practice that Whittington is somebody who has something different on that interior, and then you see him and I don't know, 275 pounds. What about his skill set allows him to be as good as he is at that weight and size.
Yeah, Jahsir's a dog. Jahsir has a pro attitude in the way he approaches the game, super competitive, relentless in the way he gets after the passer. One thing I really notice about Jahsir is the first move, if it doesn't hit, second move, third move. He's just constantly going through the process of attacking the quarterback. And he's got elite twitch, obviously. But I think what separates him is the way he approaches his work. And so that kid's going to do a lot of great things in life, whether it's football or not. He's wired the right way.
How do you coach swagger and mental toughness? Is that something you just like guys either have or they don't, or can you develop that?
Yeah, we develop confidence. I don't know about the word swagger. I don't know if I've ever taught that. I don't have any. But we try to develop confidence. And you get confidence through going out in the field, having a quiet mind, knowing exactly what you have to do, and doing that.
From a layman's perspective, it looks like you have depth on the edges. Is that the way you see it? I mean,
Talking about the defensive end position.
yes, the defensive end position. Does it look like? That's what it looks like from my perspective.
Well, I like that room. Coach Manning's done a great job of elevating the floor and raising the ceiling. I think those guys are battling just how the D tackle room are. They're making each other better. No one's how would I say this? The depth chart isn't even close to set. Like every day, those guys are attacking it.
You went through those safeties have come along under Coach Yelk, and are they showing that sort of early parts of command that you need out of that spot?
Yeah, they've developed really well in our quarter stuff, our cover 3 stuff. Now we've thrown a couple new things at them that we're going to see some growth in here in the coming days as we hit it a second and third and fourth time. But those guys are eager to make sure it's ran the right way. And Coach Yelk's been in this defense before, a really smart man. And so he's constantly with those guys about the process of football, the snap cycle, and getting us into the right check. We've seen a lot of growth there, but I want to see that room kind of take it over here in the next couple practices.
Your teammate to kind of like a coach right on that team.
Yeah.
What did you learn about him as a coach from really the moment he stopped being a player?
Well, he got tremendous privilege and didn't have to be a graduate assistant like the rest of us. He just went to being a full-time position coach, so envious. But, I've been around Tyler Yelk a long time. And tell you a quick story about him. I came into Duluth. We weren't a very good football team that year. We were 4-6 my true freshman year. Was lucky enough to play that year. And there were certain leaders on our team that were captains, and Tyler was only a junior at the time. But Tyler led that team. Tyler was the guy who ran that show. And I remember being a young player, making sure I was prepared for the game because I didn't want to let him down in the way he prepared. And there's just a manner he goes about his business. You can tell how much he means to me. I love him. But he has never let me down one time on a football field with his readiness to have his guys ready, and really, really excited for him.
Go ahead. Sam. Go ahead. You sure? Okay. I know you've had a prior relationship with Andrew Marshall. I mean, talk to me about how great it is to be working with him again and how much he's improved since you guys last kind of were paired up.
Yeah, the biggest improvement with Andrew Marshall, he's always been able to run. He's always had good instincts on the field. Technically, he's playing at a much higher level. Coach Addison's done, or Coach Addy's done a great job, and his body's really developed under Corey. I think he did 225 for 15 reps the other week, and that wasn't him when we recruited him out of Roosevelt High School out of the IE. And so his physical growth here, you really see the benefits of what this program can do for a player like that. But being back with Marsh, man, that's like seeing a family member. I love Marsh. Good to see him again, and good to see where he's at in life. Go for it.
Shirts pullover. And you've been in it now. What does the black shirts tradition mean to you, and what conversations have you had with the guys who've been here, and what that tradition means?
Yeah. When we talk about it, and we talked about it to every recruit that came in our building, we give a presentation on it. We talk about the history of it. The biggest commitment we have is the previous players that have played in that have a standard for which this logo plays, and is our utmost duty to make sure we meet that standard for them. I want alumni to look at the way we play and be really proud.
Dwayne McDougle, a guy who's followed you at multiple stops from Idaho, San Diego State to now. What kind of player has he become leading up to now?
Yeah, instinctive player. Instinctive player, has a good feel for the defense. He always seems to, he dropped an interception today, so I'm kind of mad at him, but he had an opportunity to change the game today, and he dropped it. But he seems to make those plays on Saturdays. And talking about Dwayne, he's a competitive kid. He's a competitive kid. He's not 6'2". He's probably not a 4'3" kid, but he seems to always put himself in position to help the ball club.
Another player came here, Owen Chambliss.
Yeah.
Coach Rule talked about him being a quiet leader in the team. He talks about his teammates coming to him. How have you seen him grow since he came to Nebraska following you from San Diego State?
I mean, Owen has never been the loudest person from a leadership perspective, but he's the number one person you look at for how you go about your business and execute. And I think our guys look at Owen and they see a guy that they trust to make every check, go through the defensive process for us, and they look at him as an example of kind of what we're looking for.
You want the rotation to be along the interior of the line at the two spots?
Yeah, I'd like to have 6 guys that can go.
Coach Rule mentioned that, new conference, maybe you make some tweaks to your defense. Can you just talk about the process that you go through with learning the new conference and the defense and the offenses that you're going to play against?
Well, as soon as I took the job, I mean, we have access to every film in the world right now, just with PFF and DV Sport and Catapult. We studied every opponent that we're going to see this year. We just went to work, whether they like, whether they don't like, how do they approach different downs and distances, and then we took what this conference was showing us compared to what we were seeing in a previous conference, and we had to modify or potentially remajor in something that gives us a better opportunity versus this style of play.
Position seems to be a big talking point this year. Without naming names, are there some surprises, some guys we're not talking about at all in here that we're going to see getting meaningful reps on your side of the ball?
Yeah, it's early in camp, and I don't want to pump anybody up too much, but I've been really pleased with JJ, our corner, number 25, Jeremiah, competing every day. Really like the way he's going about it, and for a player that hasn't had traditionally a ton of game reps at that position, he's out there flashing like he has a chance to be a really, really good asset to the team, man. Doing a good job.
Back to Yelk for a second. I think he finished 12 tackles short of his career record.
That's correct.
In Duluth. Does he still give you?
He didn't know the record. He's like, oh, I didn't know that. It means nothing to him. So that makes me feel worse because it meant a lot to me.
Were you trying to get? I mean, were you trying to add toward the end of your career mentally get to that point?
I 100% wanted to win the tackling record. Yeah, 100%. And it's silly because it's about team play and how we execute the defense. But yeah, he's never brought it up once to me. He better not either. So, well, cool.
I know you talked about it when you first got here, but now that you've had a few months under your belt, just knowing the responsibility you have to lead a storied, historic legacy within a defensive unit, what's that mean to you, and what have you learned about what it means to be the DC at Nebraska?
Yeah, extremely honored by it. Like when you took this job, obviously I'm from the Midwest. I understand the tradition of the black shirts in this program, and the levels it's been at, and I want to see people talk about Nebraska the way they should. And I'm really, really proud of the guys in the locker room and the way they go about their business. I'm really, really pleased where we're at, but I try to never make anything that's not the main thing. I'm trying to do my job the best I can and go to work on the details of our defense operating. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
What made this opportunity special going back to when you took this job to work with Coach Aurich again and be part of this program?
We were at obviously a great place. Like, we loved our time in Philly. My family, like with us profession, you move a bunch. We were 3 years at Temple, just finished our 3rd year with the Eagles, and loved everything about that place. But I was in a assistant role, and personally thought like, hey, maybe 4 to 5 years could do that, but wanted to get back and run in a room and not let the edge of your sword get too dull from having that role. This came up. Rob had a ton of success, and when he reached out, I'm like, holy cow, like, it's Nebraska, it's the Big Ten, it's Coach Rule. We didn't work with him at Temple, but 1 degree of separation, knew a ton of people in his circle. And so, I mean, I felt like I had a really transparent lens into what this place was, our alignment, my alignment with him without even knowing with him. So it was a no-brainer.
Coach Aurich had talked about working with Andrew Marshall in the past. How much did you work with him at Idaho, and how has he kind of gotten better as a player? I know he's not a corner, or not a safety, he's a corner, but defensive back.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is just his mentality and his approach, with us recruiting him and getting our type of guys and things like that. So, yeah, never really trained him and can't speak specific to, like, his footwork and things like that. But his mentality just has been unchanged. Like he thinks he's the best, and he's a fierce competitor, and good things are going to happen when you have those traits.
How have you seen those guys in your room respond to taking command? I know you've talked about the importance of that at your position group, and how are they doing with it?
It's a growth process that way. I mean, it comes with the confidence and understanding the playbook and eliminating that hesitation. We used to joke that, hey, like, if you don't know what to call something. And we say, hey, call Nancy. Well, then that ended up making its way into the playbook, so we had to come up with a different term, but it was just like, just take charge. And so pushing those guys and really appreciate the way they've responded. After practice 5 or 6, wherever we're at, this become a blur. But this early in camp, I really like where we're at. And still room to grow. We're not where we need to be, but like where we're at.
How's Rex Guthrie? He was obviously a big contributor a year ago and missed the spring with his surgery. How has he come back into the fray?
Really well. Really well. Rex is one of those guys, everybody learns differently, right? But Rex can really take it from the whiteboard and from the classroom and get it applied. So he didn't miss a lot, by being off the field. Obviously, there's an edge and things happen fast, but he got caught up very quickly and is in a really good spot.
How realistic is it where you could maybe rotate a number of like 3-4 guys in the 2 spots early on, especially in the year? Or would you like to be in a spot where you have kind of a defined 2?
It varies with each group, and I'm still feeling I don't have a direct answer, and even Coach Rule talked about that this morning, like who our starters are, things like that, and we appreciate competition, but we have a group of guys and a collective group that can really play, and so whether it's a deal that we platoon it a little bit and hey, 12 personnel, these guys are going to be our starters, the other guys are the backup, 11 personnel, this is our so we can mix and match that a little bit, which I like. It creates a little more chaos on game day. I have to be a little bit more organized with the substitutions and things like that, but that's no problem. We'll get that taken care of.
Tyler, how's the transition been for you coming back to the college game after a few years in the NFL?
It's like I came out of a coma. I was at lower levels. We had some NIL, but then coming here and GMs and recruiting department, it was night and day difference. When you step between the whites, it's the same. I think that's been fun, exposing the guys to that of it's the NFL. What's it like behind the green screen? It's like, well, you have to be violent, you have to be physical, you have to get off blocks, you have to pursue, you have to tackle. It's all the same stuff from that standpoint. But obviously, college football still hasn't found its footing, and I won't speak directly on the grand scope of things, but I think we can all agree that the dust hasn't settled on it yet. So it has been interesting, but at the same time, I think it's been an advantage being NFL, and we've had some neat conversations in our room of just the pull of, hey, these guys have been used to recruiting their own rooms. Now we're leaning on personnel a lot, and just finding that balance. That's what the NFL is. So I think I've been able to hopefully offer some valuable insight. Maybe not.
What do you remember about Coach Aurich as a teammate in college?
A lot that I'm not going to share here. But he is a stud player. He was a stud player, and he was fun to play behind as a safety. He was going to spill the ball. He was going to do his job. He had command. He was going to get to the football. But his demeanor, what he is up here, that's who he is. Whether it was in the classroom, in the hallway, lifting, he always had an energy about him. He was always positive. And we just had a really unique balance in the locker room, and he was really an integral part of that balance.
Did he be a coach when you were playing and he was playing?
Honestly, no. I didn't think I was going to be a coach. I think that's a credit to John Stagger, the guy that recruited both of us, and our defensive coordinator, of just the schematic and the preparedness that he instilled in us. I think that, and Rob, I'm sure he shared that story. He wasn't in college coaching right away. He stepped in the corporate world, but that draw, that competitiveness, the things that makes him great came back. But his role in our defense at Duluth, he was ready to do that. It's not like he was busting assignments. I say that I didn't think he was going to be a coach, not from a ability that boy, but he was just, you could see him going and conquering sales. It just had that kind of vibe to him, which is some of that's coaching too.
Chemistry that he's been able to bring here by reuniting with you and Corey Brown and continuing his work with Roy Manning. What do you see as the value of that, and how are you guys coming together as a defensive staff through this offseason and training camp?
In one word, seamlessly. And that's a credit to Rob. His ability, his emotional IQ. Everybody is a confident, teetering on arrogant, in this profession, and to be able to humble yourself to be part of something bigger than you is, what we all have to do. And I think everybody in our room has done that, had fun doing it, but ultimately aligned due to Rob's leadership.
The coaches, there are some players that have played for you guys at a couple different places, whether it's you or someone else. Just how does that help that trickle down to the rest of the team for installs?
It shortens the learning curve when you can inflict one guy. I think back to playing days like in our defense that Rob and I played, and there's only a couple like voices that really spoke on the play. And so the guys that we have here are usually those voices. So immediately like, hey, everybody got the install, but they're feeling their way through it a little bit. And then you have a one singular veteran out there or two that can really help get the ball rolling and get things cooking. So that piece of it's been immensely valuable.
What has stood out about Jameer Khan and Donovan Jones to at least put themselves in position early in camp to be where they're at?
Those guys just work hard. I mean, Jameer, I've had to pull the reins on a little bit, like, hey, we can't be overtraining. But whatever you give those guys, they're always having follow-up questions. There's always asking for more. Both those guys are just really great athletes. And, we've mixed and matched positions there a little bit. And I think there was a little bit of hesitation early on, but then I think they kind of see the vision for it now. And, I appreciate the room as a whole, not just those two guys aligning themselves with where we're trying to put them.
As a nickel, does he go back and forth between working with corners and safeties, or is he more with you? How does that work?
He's mainly with me, working nickel, but that's not out of the realm. We've talked personnel and just he's too good of a football player to probably not have on the field, but that's our job to continue to sort through that in training camp.
As an old D2 guy, you played a program that's no longer around. UNL.
I'm up there. My body feels it. Old D2 guy, sorry.
Well, the program's not around anymore, so like you played UNL a couple of different times.
Yeah.
What did you appreciate about playing them when you played them?
I just got chilled. That was a dark day when that. I'm not from Nebraska, but I vividly remember that shook me. Like going, holy cow, a proud program like that. I mean, that football was good, and I remember that being a physical brand of football. What was his name? Zach, the big option quarterback, played tight end for the Bears in the league. Zach Miller. Yeah, I try and tackle him. So we were in the Cactus Bowl D2 All-Star game together, and we're on the bus sharing stories. And he's like, wait, what number were you? I was like, 24. And he's like, you're on my highlight video. I'm like, oh, okay. You're an NFL tight end running option quarterback, and he just trucked me on the sideline. I knew what play it was. But, just big-time football. There was a big physical group of guys. That was the brand, and obviously, here, that's what, we're trying to build an element of that. But sad day for D2 football.
All good. Great. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Dexter, I don't know that we have spoken with you since you got to Nebraska. You kind of walked through your process and why this was the place for you.
Okay, sounds good. If you guys don't know me, I'm Dexter Foster, transferred from Oregon State. I was there, spent there 2 seasons. And basically why I came here is just like I believed in the process. I came here at Aurich, he took me in with open arms. He explained to me, basically he was just telling me everything I needed to know. And I feel like me coming here, I was going to be able to develop as a player and as a leader too. So I seen the vision, and I just basically see myself, playing here. Man, it was crazy. It was crazy. First time being in the portal, I didn't know what to expect. A lot of schools was hitting me up, but I wasn't able to take a lot of visits to all those schools, and I dimmed it down to my top 3, and Nebraska was in my top 3. So I wanted to come here first, see what it was like, and I fell in love with it right away.
What was the injury you suffered at Oregon State again?
I had a high ankle sprain in my left ankle, and I had that injury, I think it was week 7, and that, took me out for the rest of the season. I wasn't able to, participate.
And they had made the coaching change too, right? At that
They did.
So for you and your mindset was kind of like it was like a lost year last year for you.
So basically, yeah, right after I got injured, next day, head coach came in, said they was firing him, and I'm like, dang, because that's, that was the guy that recruited me. He was the guy that gave me an opportunity to play at the next level. You know, coming out of high school, I didn't really have, you know, a lot of offers and stuff like that. But, you know, he believed in me, and he was the one that gave me the opportunity to play. And then seeing him leave, I'm like, dang, like, what's going to happen next? What am I going to do next? So that was really my mindset on, you know, how I was going to attack, you know, the next, what was to come next.
Aurich before at all?
I did. He was recruiting me back in high school. He was at Idaho at first, and then he was at San Diego State last season. So I was kind of familiar, you know, with what he had going on.
You kind of talked about in your first answer, but what about him, like, knowing him when you were recruited and when you're in the portal, like you said, okay, that's my guy.
Yeah. Well, he's a good dude. Like, feel me? I could say a lot about him. Like, he knows what he's talking about. He's able to, you know, teach defenses pretty well. Like, he's gonna get on you, not because he hates you, but because he wants to see the best out of you. And you know, that's what I really needed. I needed somebody, you know, keep it real with me. If I'm messing up, I need somebody, you know, be able to hold me accountable, hold me to the highest standard. And, you know, I seen that in him. Like, he was explaining the schemes to me. I'm like, okay, I could see myself, you know, playing under his name.
How excited are you just to play in the Big Ten and the teams you're going to face and just all that?
Well, I'm super excited, but it's just a blessing, you know, to be here. Not many people back in my hometown get the opportunity, you know, to play at the next level, especially in the Big Ten. So, you know, I'm just blessed to be here. I'm ready to, you know, showcase what I can do. Last year at Oregon State, we played some Big Ten opponents. Like, we went up to Oregon, and, you know, it didn't go the way we wanted it to go. So I'm just blessed to be here and attack this season with this new team.
We keep hearing about a bunch of guys adding a bunch of muscle over the summer. Did you add any weight since you came here?
I did. I came here, I was 226. Now I'm at 235. So, you know, Coach Campbell and his strength program, you know, it's crazy. I didn't expect it, feel me? And I'm just shocked that I was able to, you know, put that much weight on, because I'm going to need it.
From where you came from to here, I mean, what are the biggest differences with the facilities, the training table, the number of staff people that are coaching here? I mean, how different is it from Oregon State?
Yeah, the facilities, main thing is crazy. I remember first coming here on my OV, I walked in the weight room and I'm like, wow, like, I ain't never seen no weight room like that. It's just so much space, and then it's like crazy how you could just walk through the weight room and get into the indoor. I feel like, you know, it's a big change, and I feel like the standard here is different. Like, you got to be able to be professional. I feel like that's the main thing, like being able to, feel me, move around here with your head held high, being able to lead, you know, being able to, you know, be vocal, speak up when you need to, and, you know, just being you.
Owen and V9 have played a lot of football too. How do you help each other and push each other in that way?
Yeah, Owen and V9, both of them, they're some great individuals, and, you know, great football players also. You know, Owen, I could say a lot about Owen. Like, bro, he's a LB freak. Like, I ain't never seen nobody like him. Like, he's in here day in, day out. Like, he done watched every film, like, on the teams that we played, and it's just like his knowledge on the game is just outstanding. Like, I ain't never seen nothing like it. And, you know, just having him and V9, like, both in my corner, like, we're able to push each other, because we know what we both want. We know how we want the defense to be ran, and, like, it's a lot that come with it.
Not sure how much you guys have scrimmaged, but, I mean, flipping to the offensive side, defending those guys, what's impressed you about them?
Yeah, the offense, they got some dudes too. Like, the old line is crazy. They got Pritch, Paul, you got Brendan Black, Tree. Bro, I ain't never went up against no guys like that. Both big frame, they strong. And, you know, in the back end too, Calandria, bro, he's able to, you know, escape the pocket, and that's our main focus too, because we know we're going to have to play against, you know, quarterbacks like that. We're going to have to play against quarterbacks that's able to, you know, get out the pocket, and just playing against him, knowing what, like, those quarterbacks are able to do, it's good. It's good for us and good for the defense.
I guess
so far, what you've seen, just what kind of excites you about the defense you're now part of?
Everything. Like, we violent, we physical. I could count on the guy next to me. I could count on the guy behind me. I could count on the guy in front of me to do their job. And, you know, I'm just excited to see what we can do this season.
Anything else for Dexter?
I guess coming into a program with just a lot of historical value, being known as the Black Shirts, what have you got to learn about that? What does that mean to you being a transfer now and part of the team?
You say that again?
Coming to a program that's been historically acclimated to like the black shirts and everything, and now being a part of that, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, it means a lot. Having that black shirt, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And you got to be able to, take it. You got to be able to take it. And, man, like, I ain't never been a part of no program, like, that had the black shirts. So, being here and knowing that's a real thing, and, I'm just glad to, be able to, be with that.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. Questions?
Dwayne, how much further along do you think you are at those safety spots of just having command on the back end like Coach Yelk wants you to have?
I think we all at a great breaking point. Like just overall, like all the safeties they finding, like all the fundamentals for like the formations, the coverages, and like our main keys. Yeah, I think everybody's starting to get on board. So yeah.
How have you felt you've gelled with Jameer, Rex, whoever's back there with you at different times? How's that worked out?
It worked out real good. We all communicate very well, so that's the thing that I really like a lot. He our Coach Yelk, he mix and matches us very well. So like one day I'll be running with someone else just to get communication like keyed in, because we never know what can happen in a real game. I can go down and somebody else will be up for me. So yeah, it's real good communication wise.
What is it? Have you seen how is Coach Aurich the same as he was at San Diego State? How's he different, maybe at all, if at all?
I can really say he's better. To be honest, that's my opinion. I think he's better. We're in a Big Ten, so he had to adjust some stuff from being in the Mountain West. We got to run some different fronts. They run the ball heavier in this conference, so we got to know. He has to know when to call like different stunts and stuff like that. So I think that helps a lot for him. And yeah, I think he's better overall.
He can be somewhat mild-mannered maybe with us, but it seems like on the field he's fiery. How much do you appreciate his personality?
A lot. It gets me going. When we do our meeting, we be like, take three. Like that's our like slogan a little bit, because we want 3 takeaways every practice. Every practice we need 3 takeaways so it can translate into the season. Yeah.
TAY3.
Take three.
How's that been going?
It's been going great every day. We've been at least getting 2 takeaways every practice, so that's a great starting point leading into the season.
When you said he got better transitioning from San Diego State to here, I know there was a little bit of time in there where you weren't with him, but did you see that from Idaho to then too?
I would say so. Well, really, when he left me at Idaho, well, he didn't really leave me. He didn't take the defensive coordinator job there at first. He was a DN's coach. Dan Jackson, he was the defensive coordinator, and they ran the same defense. So it was like literally the same defense I was in since I got there my freshman year. So it was no real change. And then when I went to San Diego and he told me I'm getting a defensive coordinator job, it really was the same defense. So yeah, but now since we got here, it just a different level, like way better than previous.
You've experienced Coach Aurich at a number of different stops. What continues to be a constant in the way that he coaches?
To be honest, everybody doubts the defense in every conference that he goes to. Like when we was at Idaho, nobody believed we was going to be a top defense and this and that. No one thought San Diego was going to be a top defense, but every year he proved everybody wrong. So, yeah.
Dwayne, I know the season hasn't started yet, and it's just camp. What's the transition been like for you so far from San Diego State to Nebraska?
It been really good. Starting off with like academic wise, they pushed me like crazy. Like I never had a 3.6 GPA ever, and this is the first time from spring till summer I had a 3.6 on both. So I did summer classes and I took spring classes, and then like on the football side of things. Coach Rule, man, he just like he pushes me every day. Like he gets on everybody, but he gets on me because he wants to bring the best out of me. And that's one thing I told them when I came on my visit. If it ain't nothing else, just get me to be my best. And yeah, that's one thing that I liked about that.
Is that what it takes? They got to shake
Yeah.
the cage a little
Yeah.
bit. That,
Yeah.
that wakes you up.
Yeah, that wake me up most definitely.
Khan was saying the other day, he thinks this is a team that's really together, but part of that is you're not afraid to hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
What's your sense on that?
So we've been talking about confrontation lately. Like we got to confront guys on everything. Like if somebody's sleeping meeting, we got to wake them up. Like if they're not doing the right thing, we got to hold them to our standard. Like some people, they got a standard here, but our standard up here. So we got to get everybody on the same level. So, yeah.
Some people don't like confrontation. So how is that going?
It been going really well, to be honest, because we talked about it with Coach Rule in the meeting, and then everybody just, okay, I understand now. So, like, nobody just bickering and talking back. Okay, I got you. I'm going to fix it after.
When you how is that navigating that part of it when you're in a new setting, but you're still trying to be a leader in that regard?
I mean, it's kind of it's hard, but it's not hard because like at first when I got here, I was like a shy guy. Like I don't want to. I'm the new guy on the team, so I don't want to just like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, because I don't know if they really trust me yet. I got to build trust through like the workouts and showing them like they standard. Like I got to meet they standard first before anything. So, yeah.
Guys coming to you and Owen, like as you guys were installing this defense, that transition, did you guys kind of help shorten that learning curve?
Yeah, most definitely. Like soon as me and Owen got here, we start setting up our own meetings with the defense, just doing our own thing without the coaches, breaking everything down because we was already a step ahead of everybody else, just so everybody could get on the same level as us, so we can go in the spring ball ready to go.
Who among those safeties is standing out to you as a team?
To be honest, I think all of them are standing out and improving. We all got like gray areas to improve on, but I think all of us is getting better overall, to be honest. So like I really feel like all of us can play. That's just my opinion.
It seems like your coach kind of feels that there's
That's possible too, that like there could be certain circumstances where if it's one personnel grouping or another, is that what you're seeing kind of?
Yes, most definitely. It's everybody can play in the back end. I'm gonna be honest, everyone.
Anything else for Dwayne? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.